Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm diving into one of the most underrated gems of the 90s, Starman. Yeah, I've been doing some serious reading lately. I've just finished both of these compendiums, and by the way, I really prefer the compendium format over the omnibuses. They're cheaper, still durable, and honestly easier to read without breaking your wrists. Now, Starman by James Robinson. This series is right up there with some of the best comics of the 90s. I'd put it alongside Peter David's Hulk, Excalibur, some of the better Batman runs, and Grant Morrison's JLA. What's interesting is that Starman sits in a kind of middle ground. It's more grounded than your typical DC superhero fare, but not quite as dark or adult as the Vertigo titles. Though, fun fact, it does feature the Golden Age Sandman from Sandman Mystery Theater.
Wait, does it have the other Sandman in it?
Nope, not that Sandman. No Dream, no Endless, no Vertigo crossovers. But there is a cool reference to Swamp Thing, specifically that weird time he went into space, which ties into a cosmic arc later in the series. So let's talk about Jack Knight. He's a reluctant, snarky, junk-dealing, vintage-obsessed guy who gets pulled into superhero duty when his older brother, the original heir to the Starman mantle, is killed in action. Jack's the sixth or seventh person to take on the name, and what makes him great is that he doesn't want to be a hero at first. That gives him a lot of room to grow, and trust me, he does. He's also kind of a stand-in for the writer, James Robinson. You can really feel that personal voice in his journey. Jack's costume, very 90s, bomber jacket, aviator goggles, but there's a reason for it. The goggles help him fly without getting blinded by his staff, which glows like crazy. The comic does something really cool. It tackles 150 years of superhero continuity. One character is literally the reincarnation of a cowboy. Others stay young because they've bathed in the fountain of youth. It plays with all the weird inconsistencies comic book history creates and somehow makes it work.
Did you say it has Oscar Wilde in it?
Yeah, Oscar Wilde makes a cameo. One of the two 90s comics that did that, the other being Cerebus, which I might cover in another video. There's also this immortal Dickensian villain called the Shade, a fan favorite who starts out as a villain but becomes more of an anti-hero. His backstory gets a sort of Cerebus-style retcon where you find out he met Wilde and Dickens even based a character on him. There's a beautiful moment near the end of the series where the Shade says, "October brings melancholy," reflecting on the month he was created. That line really hit me because October's my birthday too.
October spawned a monster, as Morrissey would say.
Exactly, though thankfully I don't have shadow powers. But Starman goes beyond just superpowers. There's a crossover with Batman, even Hellboy of all characters. One of the oddest parts is Jack's dad, the original Starman, refuses to believe in the supernatural, like he mates demons and still denies it.
A flat earth atheist?
Basically. The comic's full of great cameos, Batman, Superman, and even a surprisingly sweet Solomon Grundy. And honestly, some of the side characters are more interesting than Jack himself. There's this one version of Starman, this blue-skinned David Bowie-esque guy from the 70s who's absolutely wild. Eventually, Jack steps away from being a hero and passes the staff on to Courtney Whitmore, aka Stargirl.
Like in the TV show?
Yeah, but the Stargirl show doesn't really do Starman justice. It throws a lot of Golden Age characters into weird timelines, kind of like reading The Dark Knight Returns and then watching Batwoman with Ruby Rose. It just doesn't match up.
They didn't even show season 3 in the UK.
Honestly, you're better off just reading the comic. Starman hasn't appeared in the animated DC shows, and I doubt he'll turn up in James Gunn's new DC universe. But he absolutely deserves a spot. He's one of the best deep cuts in DC's library. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you've read Starman or plan to, drop a comment. I'd love to know your thoughts.
And don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.